So yeah, you told me that you travel around, you write down on that diary?
Yeah, so we've been together for 11 years. We first started traveling about 6 months once we got together, and we
Let me
went
stop you there and congratulate you on the 11 years because that is incredible.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we love to travel, and when we first met, we booked a trip, I think, within 3 months of starting to date, and it was like a month in South America.
Traveling for a lot of people can be either a dream or a stressful situation. For you, it's like a test drive. Let's see if this thing works, because if you can travel together, you probably do everything together, right?
Oh, exactly.
You're so right. I think a lot of people thought we were probably a bit ambitious to do a 1 month trip together, and we just kind of...
A 1 month?
Yeah, when we...
Wait. We've been dating 3 months. Yeah.
So you met in Brisbane, and then you decided, let's go for a month. Where?
To South America, to
Chile, even left
Peru,
the country.
And Bolivia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which was like a scary place to go for kind of some young people who haven't traveled much. Yeah.
I would say so, yes. For a lot of people, yeah. Although the people from Latin America would say that going to Australia is just as dangerous. Because you have like some crazy bugs and animals and stuff like that, right?
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, you never see them.
You didn't even like the fact that you don't even think about the crazy spiders and I don't know, the kangaroos that just fight you.
Well, we both actually grew up in the country, so we're very comfortable with those things. If we have a spider in the house, Ramona will just go pick it up and then take it outside.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're used to it.
Yeah.
Now that's a woman.
She's
man.
pretty brave.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that I'm the kind of guy that doesn't get fazed by much, but I haven't been to Australia.
Oh, sure.
So I haven't been tested.
Yeah.
You've been tested.
Yeah. So we went to South America and we started a travel journal when we were there. And we just write down the special moments that happened during the day, because we realized you can't always capture them on your phone or on a video.
Or remember them 5 years down the track.
Yeah.
So
Kind of, chance encounter meetings with people or something lucky that happened or...
You can always tell when we get slightly tipsier and drunker during the days and things. The handwriting
It gets more interesting. Oh, the writing gets interesting. Okay.
We sit down with a wine to write in the book.
So funny enough, I don't think I could do that unless it was digital, because my writing is I'm not a doctor, but it looks like a doctor's writing. Sometimes I write something down and I try to go back maybe a day later and I'm not sure what I wrote anymore. So for me it would be like an exercise in trying to decipher some archaeology type of stuff for me, trying to understand my own writing.
Well, that's why it's mostly her handwriting.
Dude, why is it that women really care about handwriting being beautiful?
Yeah, it's the big cursive letters. You can tell what they are. All my letters are jammed together.
No, it's like one straight scribbly thing that I do. Going back to the reason why I stopped you. Basically, I've been single for about 2 years now, which is really strange for a lot of people, especially nowadays that you can just go on an app and get a date super easily. But I stopped because I felt like people were on dates and they were already thinking about the next one. It was kind of like dating becomes a hobby in itself. So I had to stop and kind of collect myself, try to really think about what I want for my future and for my life. And so it just happened that I've been single for 2 years because, it took a long while to figure it out. So I want to go back into dating now, but I want to go with some information coming out here. I'm asking couples and people that are single to basically give me overall experience of what it's like to have an awesome relationship, because I can tell already you guys amazing. It's amazing that you're my first interview today for this project.
Okay.
Because I feel like I got the mother load, the gold standard already. So how long have you been in your current relationship?
11 years together, but married 4. We keep forgetting.
Wow.
Because we had our wedding plan before COVID, then COVID happened, and then we replanned the wedding 3 times. So we keep forgetting how long we've been married. But
we've got 3 different dates in our head. And
but together 11 years, married 4. Yeah.
I love that, because a lot of the people think that you're together for a long time dating. Either there's something wrong or there's no reason to be married. The relationship is fine. So what made you change your mind after all this time? Okay, marrying is actually the right thing to do.
No, we were young when we started dating. We were 19, 20.
Wow.
So we met at university. We just dated, had fun, traveled, saw the world. And then, you kind of talk about your life. And we were engaged for 5 years.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
So we got engaged, but had a long engagement. Yeah.
We got engaged after 2.5 years together, maybe.
But a long engagement.
We didn't feel like we were in a rush at all.
People around you weren't telling you so guys, because I watched The Office, The Office, that show.
Love The Office, love it.
So one of the main points of that show in the beginning is the fact that Pam has been engaged for like 3 years. So
Yeah.
do you feel a connection when you watch that show?
Yeah, well, I mean, people will ask your reasons why you have or haven't kind of got engaged yet
By the way,
or
when you
married
got-
yet. So
When you got married, was it pressure from like people around you?
Absolutely not.
No?
No, we almost considered not getting married because
Yeah.
we don't conform much to what society says you have to do. So we almost considered it, but we wanted to share our love with our friends and family. That's
Yeah.
mostly. We didn't need to sign the paper for the government or anything,
Yeah.
but we wanted that event with our friends and family to celebrate our love and have that moment. So, and I'm so glad we did it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah, it was an awesome day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mum still says it's the best day of her life.
Yeah,
Our wedding.
I can imagine. Like just talking to you guys, I can imagine that was a fun day for everyone.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you value most about being in a relationship?
I think what I value most is just having my best friend for life. You know, like we can just travel together, we just sit, drink wine. At home, I should say we have a dog, Romeo. He's our child, like a beautiful black Labrador. Like I think just spending life with my best friend, but also the trust. I don't trust anyone more in the world than Will. Like I can trust him with anything I say or do, I won't be judged. And who else can you get that from? I think that's mine.
Before you really find your soulmate, like you're the only person who really knows the very deep parts of yourself. And so you can always be quite doubtful about yourself or not confident or have low self-esteem and question yourself or criticize yourself. And I think when you really find the person who you can be really vulnerable with and you can tell them things that you wouldn't be able to tell any other person and then they love and accept you for it, you kind of learn like a love and acceptance for yourself as well. So yeah. Yeah. So when she says like having a best friend you can spend your life with, it's like a best friend who really knows you, I think would be an important part. Yeah.
Do you know what it's like to feel jealous in a good way? That's what I'm feeling right now. This is amazing. Kind of the opposite. What's the hardest part about being in a relationship? If there is one, because apparently you guys are like perfect.
Like for me, I'm finding the older we get, the hardest part comes, I think, in regards to professional careers. So like making a decision whether you move from Brisbane, go to Sydney or Melbourne because there's better careers there. You know, kind of like deciding on the next step because we're 31. So it's kind of like, you know, you hit that age of life. It's like, okay, what's the next step for our careers, for us, sort of forward thinking and planning? Whereas like before it was kind of just you're young and having fun, but now you have those discussions about where do I want to take my profession, where do we see ourselves together, but also individually in the next 5 to 10 years.
Maybe what you find hard about that is we've both got careers where the best location for that career is different. And it's a hard choice when you realize, okay, for me to be on the best path for my career would be meaning that my wife doesn't have the best opportunity for her career or vice versa.
Yeah.
And so balancing that has kind of been hard,
Yeah?
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't really struggled with it though. It's
not
just,
struggled.
I think
Yeah.
we'd both probably prefer the other one to be happy rather than
Yeah.
us to have the perfect career. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
always, I think, been a little thing for us just to know that we're in a period of time in our life, you know, at a certain period where we're really supporting one of us and then in another period we're really supporting the other person.
A few years ago in Australia, I worked at a mine. To get there, it's fly in, fly out.
You worked at a mine.
Yeah, worked at a mine site. So I worked a week on and then 5 days at home. And
No,
I did.
wait. I need to understand. You worked at a mine. Like you were with the pickaxe, because I know.
No, not quite, not quite. I was on site doing environmental management. Yeah, I wasn't like pickaxing.
Just imagine like Minecraft or something. It was like pickaxe.
No. But I worked away a week on, 5 days
Yeah,
at
yeah.
home, and I did that for 3 years.
Yeah.
So Will was kind of home alone with our dog. Like, you know, it was a sacrifice that he made for my career. So I could go out and get that experience. But when I came back, I had the experience to be able, you know, propel in my career from that. So he sacrificed a lot with me being away. Yeah. So it's like conversations like that.
That is amazing to hear because, in my research, it was one of the things I noticed that, when you're in a relationship, you kind of have to give in. You don't just have the freedom to go wherever you want, whenever you want. There has to be a discussion.
Yeah,
People have to give.
absolutely.
And it's amazing to see that you actually had to deal with that and found a way to, make it good for everyone. Like take turns in,
Yes.
supporting each other.
I don't really think there's anything hard if you have the right person. All the challenges that you have are challenges that you face together. So there's no challenge between us.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always
Nothing between us.
it's always about how are we going to tackle this problem or that problem. But if the person is like the perfect person for you, then you do whatever it takes to make it work. And you feel lucky to get to do that. Not like it's a challenge challenge to be the best partner you can be, but you're lucky to get to be the best partner to someone you love.
I think it would be a challenge if you're not with the right person. You would know right away,
100%,
right?
yeah.
Absolutely.
And I would almost use that as an indicator as well if you're trying to figure out if someone is the right person for you. If it's really hard for you to make small sacrifices for them, then maybe they're not as important to you as the right person would be.
And I must say, we've both had awful relationships before we met each other.
Yeah.
And when we met each other, we were like, we knew we were the right ones because everything just worked. We didn't have to try, it just gelled and worked. And then we appreciate each other even after 11 years because we've had pretty tough relationships beforehand. And you're like, it shouldn't be tough that way. You know, you go through certain life things together, but it shouldn't be a struggle day to day. Yeah.
You both knew exactly what you didn't want in a relationship.
Yes, yep. And also what you deserve too. You deserve love and being cared for and everything. So it's okay to be like, well, I deserve someone to give me that.
And if there's sacrifices, like you said, they have to be kind of like taking turns with the sacrifices.
Give and take,
give and take, because if it's just one person sacrificing for the other always, then you see like there's an imbalance in the relationship, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't want an imbalance, but you also don't want to keep count either. You never want to keep track of what you've sacrificed for them and then expect in the future they'll sacrifice for you. A real part of it with love is that you're always vulnerable, like you're permanently in a vulnerable state where you're always giving and expecting nothing in return, and then they're always giving and expecting nothing in return. And if you're both good at that, then you can find that balance. But if you always feel like, oh, I did this for you and
like
therefore
you have
need
to do this for me,
reciprocate to me, then it's still like a you versus me scenario, and it's still not us, right?
Even though there has to be a balance, it shouldn't be something that you're like paying attention to. You automatically should be trying to do what's best for the other person.
Yeah. And you got to be able to communicate what your needs are as well and not expect the other person just to figure it out. And
oh, that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
How are you with that? Because
Yeah.
I know men are usually the ones that they say everything, but women sometimes expect men to figure it out. What do you think? Are you the kind of a woman that you say what you feel?
I would say yes. I think so. Will's taught me to talk.
Nice.
Because Will's a talker. He studied psychology at uni. So he's very much about talking about emotions and how you feel about situations. So he's taught me to talk more openly. And we talk a lot, don't we? Sometimes you're like, hey, you're acting this way. What's up? And I was like, I haven't communicated like that I'm feeling this way because of this.
maybe you don't even know.
I don't even know, And you make me think about it. I was like, oh.
So, secret to getting a good relationship first for men, go to a psychology degree, and then you'll know exactly what you're looking for, and you'll know how to deal with situations.
But it's interesting you say like about the women in Australia. Men don't talk.
No.
Men don't talk about their emotions.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I know you're right. A lot of men, it's both. Some men say more than they need to. Some men don't say anything at all.
Yeah, and in Australia, it tends to be this way about what's the term? Like a masculine man, a strong man, an Aussie man.
Yeah, it's feminine to talk about your feelings.
Yeah, if you
Crocodile Dundee type of man.
Yeah.
This is a knife? No, that's a knife.
Yeah.
Well good, well done.
Yeah. So it's considered feminine to talk about your feelings.
I want to add to that. So our culture, it is kind of feminine to talk about your feelings, but I think this is where credit for Amana is. Whenever I do be vulnerable and open up and express my feelings to her, she recognizes that was a lot of bravery to do that, and she finds that to be a very attractive thing.
Yeah,
and
I'm
therefore,
not like you're less of a man.
no, if anything, she says like it's more masculine that you can be brave against the difficulty of vulnerability, and then she's more attractive to me when I'm vulnerable rather than when I, store my feelings down inside.
And there's so many times like we have friends who the guys don't say anything, and you're like, if you just communicated to your partner, the issue would be solved. Just talk. But it's not really the Australian way with men yet, like our generation and the older generation.
Yeah, you're right. When it comes to really important stuff, especially men's feelings, you're right. Men don't talk about it, and it's not just Australia. It's here. It's most of Western world. Most men actually don't talk about things that actually should be talked about, because, like you said, I think a lot of men still feel like they're gonna be judged, and she's gonna lose interest. I think that's the most part. Like, I think it has to do with some part of the masculine sphere of online for men still says that like if you talk about your feelings, she's gonna lose attraction or something like that.
Well, and that's why I give credit to Romana, is because there are other girls who I could have been vulnerable to, and then they would have thought I was very feminine for doing that. So Romana really respects that.
So there is a truth to it, but I think it's more on women to because women say a lot that like they want men to talk, but sometimes some of those women also lose feeling after some vulnerability from a man. So I guess what you have to say is you're not wrong for sharing what you feel, but you have to find the right woman that actually is mature enough to deal with men's feelings.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is there something about being single that you enjoy or you miss now?
I was going to say it's hard because it's been 11 years since I've
Yeah.
been single. And I was also young and dumb.
Yeah. You don't have to. If there's nothing important, you don't have to answer.
It's hard because when I was single, I was still a teenager. I still didn't have confidence in myself. I didn't know myself. But if I'm reflecting, if I was to be single now, I'd actually hate it. Like I'd actually, sorry.
No. I can only imagine how much it would suck for you to have to do dating today.
Yeah.
Like, especially today.
That's a good point. I think what you mean is not that you'd hate being single, but you'd hate today's dating.
Because
Today,
we
yeah.
Today's
The dating part, yeah.
This is going to sound really old, but we got together, we didn't use any apps.
Tinder came out like a month after we got together.
Yeah.
Wow.
So-
And it was
You
such a blessing.
Dodged a bullet.
Such a blessing. Absolutely.
And I've never used an app, and I'd hate the thought, as you said, to like dating someone on immediate looks and
Yeah.
things like that. Like
Yeah.
it just, no, for me, I don't miss anything because I don't really remember it.
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
nothing that I remember that I enjoyed about dating.
Yeah.
Because for me, I was just trying to find my life partner, and there was a lot of bad guys out there.
Bad options.
Yeah.
I think one of the good things about being single, not dating, but about being single, is having the choice to be able to do whatever you want whenever you want to do it. But again, I would kind of say the right relationship, like we tend to free each other more than we do constrain each other. So we talk a lot about the different things that we want to do in our life. Like we talk about it all the time, and we give each other the space to say, I'm going to talk about these things I want, and it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to have them or it's more important than anything else. You know, like I'll talk about I want to live overseas. It doesn't mean that I'm unhappy where I am. It's just it's one of the 50 things I want, right? I won't get all of them, and that's okay. But over time, we'll talk and we'll kind of refine what I want, and we'll refine what you want, and we'll find the best option for both of us. And not in like a compromising way, but like an empowering way.
So like what you're saying is maybe being in a relationship with the right person actually gives you even more possibilities that you probably wouldn't even thought to have if you weren't having this great moment with this amazing person, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I feel like I should interview you. That was really well said.
Yeah. No, because I would say like, I imagine like being single, I can do everything. Sometimes I just do nothing the whole day.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if you have someone else saying, hey, what are we gonna do today? Like we're doing something, wherever it is, but we're doing something. You end up exploring more.
Yeah, but also try to say, like, you know, if Will wants to do his own thing, and I sometimes go take myself on a picnic with our dog and read a book so we can go do our own things.
Nice.
And I don't feel, you know, he can do his thing, I do my thing. But if he wants to come, he can come. If he doesn't, that's fine. Like,
That is very interesting.
I'm doing what I enjoy, he's doing what he enjoys, and then later we come together and spend our time together.
So you're saying that even being in an awesome relationship with an awesome person, it's still good for us to have our own things that we can do with ourselves or with our friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We do have some friends who spend so much time, as they say, in each other's pockets that they have no space to breathe and be themselves.
Yeah.
Like they're too on top of each other, and if a guy goes out for beers with his mates, like his missus is like, oh, you've left me for 2 hours. You know, and it's like, oh no, if Will wants to go have a drink with his mates or go play basketball, that's fine. Like,
Well, you encourage me to.
encourage it, because that's important. Building and maintaining those relationships too.
Ramona will say, you haven't caught up with your mates in a while. Like, why don't you go have a day with them and drink beer and watch basketball on the TV? And I'm like, oh, it sounds like you want a day to yourself. And she's like, I'm sure I'll find something to do, but she knows it's just good for for guys to hang out with guys.
And sometimes she probably knows that you want that,
But he
but
doesn't know he
there's
wants
something
it.
stopping you from like calling your friends. So he's like, come on, man, just call your friend.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
you want to.
Yeah, she's very encouraging like that. And I think there's a lot of like respect in that as well. You know, she knows that she could spend that time with me and she would want that, but also you know that it would be good for me to have time with my mates, and she's thinking about what's best for me and sometimes putting that above what maybe she wants to do, and hopefully vice versa.
No, I can tell, 100%. Do you think everyone needs to be in a relationship at some point? Like it's something that you actually need to be happy? A relationship is like a must for happiness.
Oh man, you ask very thoughtful questions. I like it.
No, I don't believe that. So you're asking if people
like-
should be in a relationship?
I'm saying like at least at some point, like if it's like a must that everyone should have a relationship to see what it's like to achieve some type of happiness that can only be achieved in a relationship, or if they.
I don't believe that, because for my example, my brother, he's been single his whole life and he's so happy. He just turned 30. I don't think he's ever dated. Like, he's explored interactions, but he's never been in a relationship. And he's so happy and content with his life. And he's showing me you don't need a relationship. Like, I love and want to be in a relationship with Will. But he's shown me that you don't have to be in a relationship to be happy and fulfilled. He's very fulfilled in his life. So I don't think you need it. It gives you experiences and things like that, and it teaches you to share and trust and everything like that. But no, I wouldn't say you need it to be happy in life. I think you can be single and have experiences and interactions like this that, you know, give you joy. But no, I don't think you have to be. Do you have a comment?
Yeah, well said. I think you need connection with people.
Connection, yes.
Yeah, you can't be alone, and I think being alone is different to being single. And you only know that when you're single, if you're feeling lonely, or if you're single and happy about it. Some people are single and they have really rich and full lives and great interactions with family and friends, and then others not so much. So I would also add as well that I think a bad relationship is far worse than being single as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know, I always felt like I was always going to find the right person for me, and it was a matter of meeting enough people. You know, you should date a few times before you meet your soulmate, so you've got good relationship skills. But I would never say like you need to force it. If it doesn't come, then you shouldn't force it. You should kind of be okay being yourself. And the other part, I guess, as well, is whenever you're single, you're growing as well. Like, you have to learn new things, like how to be independent and confident and figure out what you want to do with your
I was
life.
going to say, I find it so brave when a single person takes themselves to a movie. I've seen that so much in Portugal here. People
That's one
are
of my
just-
challenges. I'm still not there yet.
Yeah, people are sitting down having wine and reading a book by themselves. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, wow, I'd be too scared.
That is a superpower.
Yes, yes,
Go,
so,
no, I'm
yeah.
actually I'm thinking at some point it's gonna be a fancy restaurant
Yes,
by myself.
yes.
That's like the ultimate
And
challenge.
don't look at your phone the whole time.
Dude, okay, that's another one.
Yeah.
I, at some point, actually want to do a challenge where I actually leave the house and leave my life without a phone. And man, that going to dinner by yourself and not looking at your phone, that's like nirvana. You've achieved like whatever level of consciousness that is possible. You've achieved it.
I was going to say something we do as a couple often, like we go camping. It's a big thing in
That is
Australia.
amazing. Did
Go
you know I
camping.
never went camping?
Oh,
Yes.
Well, go to Australia, beautiful camping spots.
I mean, I'm
Well,
not
you
sure
don't
I'll
have to
survive,
travel
but you know,
to Australia.
that's also the ultimate level of camping. Go to Australia.
yeah, with all the big animals.
Put
But
up the tent so the
Yeah.
snakes don't come in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But we go camping, like Will, I, and our dog Romeo, and we turn our phones off for the weekend. So, you know, like we sit there and our only interaction is us or our books or nature.
The
And
mountain
it's-
lion,
Yes.
kangaroo.
Yeah. Exactly. But you just, switching your phone off is a huge thing, and just having time with each other. So you're not looking at Instagram and comparing what other people are doing, or like not enjoying the beauty of where you are. Yeah. So I think that's a big thing.
Even though I post on Instagram, what I do is I post and ghost. I
Okay.
post and then I delete the app. Yeah, I delete the app from my
Oh.
phone. Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
I realized that I cannot control myself. So it's like an addict. I need to not
Sure.
have it near me.
Sure.
That's
Yeah,
brilliant.
because I know that when I feel frustrated or not well, I'm gonna scroll just to get that dopamine hit, and then it's gonna be like an hour later, and I'm gonna feel even worse after that. So now I just realize that I just have to delete it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Good on you.
So I've realized that I don't need Instagram, but the phone, I haven't tried it yet. Just like leave the phone at home and go out. Haven't tried it.
Just do small bits at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a shame. Like, we're a bit older. We've lived most of our lives without this, and now we cannot live without it.
Oh, because like your cards on there, your ID's on there,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
your whole life.
I definitely I've desensitized myself a lot with my phone as well. So
Yeah.
I turn off all the notifications on all the apps except
Nice.
for the SMS. I leave it on like the battery saver mode where all the apps are just turned off. And then if I want to go to an app, then I open it and I use it, but it doesn't come to me.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I choose when to interact with the phone. And
Okay.
that's been really helpful for me. Like, I don't feel that it kind of controls my life.
Okay.
I'm in control. It's a small thing, but I like that.
Yeah, we're a bit like off topic, but I like this. My sister is like 19, and ever since she got a phone, she started like that, everything off. I think they already realized that this thing is not good for them. And I think a lot of people their age now are getting minimalist phones or old phones. They're getting old phones.
Oh,
now.
really?
Like the flip phones.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know they still made them.
Yeah. I think
Well, they're vintage.
they're coming back. I think it's off because they know this is not good for their mental health. And and it's a distraction, and half is because they like our technology. So all the stuff like Walkmans, Discmans, vinyls, like all this old technology, they find it so interesting because they didn't grow up with it.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. It's like the same way that we used to like stuff from the 70s and 80s. Like that's how they like stuff from the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like,
like our stuff is vintage now.
That's like 10 songs on a Walkman though.
Dude, and you have to switch from one side to the other, the cassette.
Oh my lord.
And you have to rewind it.
Yeah.
I
Forgot about that.
Dude, you kind of want to go get a Walkman now, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Do you think society puts too much pressure on people to be coupled? You know, Disney films, the film is always about them finding love and finding their perfect half, their right person.
Good. I don't know. I've never looked at it that way. Society being pressured to couple. Like I've never felt it. I never pictured it that way. You? No.
Yeah.
The reason why I put this question here is because even though I'm single and I found a way to be happy single, which was something that I didn't have before. So before, every time I got single, like a relationship ended, it was like death to me. And I had to, as soon as possible, fix this. So as soon as possible, I needed to find someone to tell me that they love me, so I could be, a human being again.
Sure.
Yeah. Like we might have a different perspective if we'd been single, but I feel like, we've been together so long, I haven't had that perspective.
So what I'm saying is, even though I kind of achieved being happy single, there's still a part of me that says that something's not right with you until you find someone or that person, you know.
I think just adjacent to that, I think when a lot of people are single and they're trying to become this feeling like they're okay to be single, and they're like searching for this feeling of like, I'm a whole person even without having a partner. I think they put a lot of pressure on themselves to kind of define themselves as though they don't have a partner. And I think it's almost okay to be like fully happy in yourself, but still feel like there's a bit of a void there, that you don't have that love in your life. Like love is an amazing thing, and you don't have to kind of like pressure yourself to say that your life is perfect without love, because love is awesome. You want to say, that you're comfortable on your own, you don't feel lonely, that you feel you've developed good character and you have good connections with people, and you're making good progress on your goals and all these things that make us feel whole. But you don't have to kind of overcompensate to say that you don't need love. Like love is an awesome thing. You should always be open to it, I think.
What I found is that for a man, it's not enough to be open to it. You actually have to pursue things.
Sure.
You have to take actions. Because I feel like for a woman, there's a dichotomy in relationship, which is like for a woman, you have to kind of like fight them away. As for a man, you actually have to...
No, I agree. Yeah, the man has to take this step, which is be really bloody hard, and I'm so glad I never had to. Will took the step with me. Yeah.
You want to share?
Never.
You want to share the first moment? Did you have to gain the courage to go ask her out?
Oh, our first kiss.
Yeah, great story.
Yeah.
No, even for the first kiss, first interaction, who had to approach?
Okay, so we met at university. We were both dating other people at the time. I think we knew we were interested in each other, but we both knew that like that was not going to happen.
Yeah.
So then there was like various times where one of us was single and the other one wasn't, and then it kind of switched. And
Let me write it down. I'm going to make a short film about that.
Timing never really worked out, and probably for about 2.5 years, I think we sort of kept in each other's lives, but only to the degree where it wasn't disrespectful to our partners. Not necessarily like a backup or something, but I knew there was something special about Romana, and I didn't want her to like exit my life, but I also couldn't pursue her either. So I know for like we knew each other for so long, and then when we're eventually single at the same time, I think I tried pretty hard to kind of pursue, and Romana was kind of closed off to that, I think. I don't know if you necessarily knew you were closed, you were just...
She had come out of a bad relationship, so she probably wasn't ready for it yet, right?
Like I was kind of scared too. Like I knew he might have been the one, but I was like, I was only 19, 20, and you're like, whoa, am I ready for that yet? Kind of thing. So I think
we weren't even together, and you...
Oh,
okay.
So it was a bit like, oh wow, this is legit. Like this is real.
Yeah.
Did it feel different?
Yeah.
Because you both had relationships, like, was there something that felt different?
Yes, but I don't know how to describe it. Could you describe it? I don't know, it just felt different. When I talked to Will, even though we weren't romantic or anything, just talking to him, I was like, wow, it was easy. It was just different to any interaction I've had with any other person in general. Yeah. And it's like, as Will said, like, it's someone like we wanted to keep each other even as friends, because it was just so unique.
There's Colourpop images where it's like a crowd of people in grey, and then there's like one person who's like lit up in color.
Aw.
It's
Dude.
kind of like
He
that.
has a cinematic mind. I see you, man. I
Yeah,
see
you see that? Yeah. Like, you know, you could text like 10 people in a day, but if it's a message from Romano, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
like,
you
I'm
just
gonna
get
stop
up.
what I'm doing. Like, stop talking to me. I
stop
got a
everything.
message. Yeah, so, I mean, we spoke like back and forth, and we started sort of being interested in each other once we both realized we were single, and I would put on the moves, and then Romano would kind of pull away. And then I was actually getting pretty frustrated by it. I was like not succeeding at all.
Dude.
And then we were at a New Year's party together, and I was like, this is my last time I'm going to give this a real shot. And so, yeah, during the countdown, I grabbed her and I kissed her.
Bro!
Yeah.
Yeah, just out of the blue.
Did you have to get some liquid courage or just like straight out?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, yeah.
You
She
need the
said
excuse in case she
She
says
said
no.
the kiss was like a little bit drunkenly kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then pretty much from that moment, we didn't
Yeah.
really want to be apart from each other at all.
Yeah.
You went away for a week and it was like kind of agony that you were away. And the moment she was back, we then spent like 3 or 4 days together straight. And then, yeah, we've just been together ever since.
Dude. I almost don't want to ask you anything. Let's see if there's something else interesting. You know what? That's it, man. This is perfect.
That's it?
Yeah,
good.
I feel
perfect.
like I could talk to you all night. You're so
Dude,
easy to
seriously,
talk
you
to.
guys are amazing. I actually don't want to take any more of your time because I feel like your relationship is like it's. Have you seen Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
It's like it's a thing in the middle of the temple. It's like a very special thing that you're just like in awe, just
sure.
like being here with you guys. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, you're like the perfect couple. I don't understand this. If I had some money, I would like do a whole show on you. You might know that you're not as common as you think you should be, right? A relationship like you guys met young, stayed together for a long time.
We do know that because we kind of like, we know we're very lucky that we found the one,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't say it out loud to other people because it's a little bit up ourselves. But we know that a lot of people don't have what we have. We're very and we're very lucky for that for sure,
And grateful.
Yeah.
and grateful for that. Yeah.
So what you're saying is to have the perfect relationship, meet the right person when you're 19.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So let me write that down.
Go
Yeah.
back in time.
You may already know them, Bruno.
Yeah. Also, before there was social media and dating apps.
Yes.
Let me write it down.
Yeah, so a time machine on that one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, time
Yeah.
machine. How hard can it be? You know? Yeah.
Exactly.